Alright, so there's not really a lot of documentation that I could find online in regards to the shift control from the Volvo M66 6-speed. So I kind of want to just come on here and kind of show what goes into it and how it works. So what's nice about the M66 is that you can actually remove the shift control. It's not all situated in the casing, so you don't have to split the casing to get inside of it. So we can start disassembling it. At the top here we have our forward and back selector arm that just comes out with a spring pin, and that gives you access. And right underneath that we have the top of the shift control. This just bolts into the trans with 4 bolts, and this can get picked up. It's got a hole for our main shaft down here, and also has a hole for a shift detent right here, reverse light switch, and then our side-to-side selector arm. So in here, there's 3 different bearings. There's this top main bearing for the main shaft that's situated up here along with the seal. And then also for our side-to-side selector shaft, there's bearing right here along with the seal, and then there's actually another spot for a bearing in here, and this will situate itself right in here, along with an arm that's spring pinned to that selector arm as well. Pressing it out isn't too bad. This inner bearing right here for the side-to-side play was kind of a pain, just in a tight spot with all the different pulls I had, so I just had to break the internal cage, and I was able to get that out. Alright, so then this actually has a bolt hole on the top of this casing housing, and then this will actually bolt to it. This kind of makes the gates. This slides up and down. There's a little pin on some of the other body of the pieces, and this is what kind of makes the gates for your transmission. So that pin slides in between all these. So here on the main shaft, everything's held together by spring pins essentially and bearings. So it was pretty easy to just take apart slowly, just documenting everything I had on it. So this is spring pins to the side-to-side selector arm, and this kind of moves, this rides on this, and that's what kind of makes you do the side-to-side playing, controls all this. Down here we have the, I guess you could call them strikers. These are what contact these shift forks and actually move the shift forks up and down. And then here we have a couple different springs. This is kind of like that spring for reverse that gives it a little extra oomph to get it into gear. Once again, the main selector shaft. And then down at the bottom, there actually is another bearing for this. This is kind of a closed cup bearing. This sits inside the transmission case, so I had to pull that out of there. And we kind of have these 2 pieces of body. These slide together when they're all put together. I can see if I can include a picture of what it looked like before it was taken apart. And then this is that pin that I was talking about right here. There has been some instances in the forums I've seen where people have actually broke this pin. It can break under hard shifting, or maybe just wear and tear. So I wanted to take a look at mine and make sure mine was okay, because my transmission had about 113,000 miles on it, I believe it was. So I just wanted to come in here and possibly look at replacing this and putting a stronger pin in, just to see what material this is made of. Mine looks pretty fine. I was having trouble pressing it out. There's a hole down here where the bearing goes, so it can't be pressed out this way. I'm going to try a harder torch, see if that works. And situated between these, that right on the shaft, we have 2 linear bearings. We've got rows of ball bearings in there. I could find replacements for all the other bearings except these ones. These are like some special bearing. I contacted the bearing manufacturer, and they told me to contact the OEM, which I assume is either Volvo or Getrag. And you know, you can't really just buy those separately from Volvo. I know in the past people have been able to buy this entire shift assembly from Volvo. It was like $400 or something like that. I don't know what the part number is for that, but just wanted to take a look at this and kind of see how everything went back together. These bearings are fine. The balls are still in the cage, so these ones should be good, but I will be replacing like the top selector forks and the main shaft bearings. I was getting a little bit of side-to-side play in my side-to-side selector, so that's just something I wanted to replace on there. But yeah, just wanted to show what went into it. So I'm ordering the new bearings, new seals, cleaning everything up, and hopefully I can get rid of all the movement in there, and the shifts will be precise. But yeah, that's that, and hopefully once I get this done, I can start working on the rest of the M66.